Hello, I'm Brandon Poblet, and this is my final project. Overview of the application. It's supposed to be a online video game store similar to Steam. Users should be able to traverse an online video game store and with the ability to buy the games and add them to their own personal game libraries. This website will also have a social aspect, allowing them to add each other and to connect through groups that the users can make. All right, for a quick demo, to run the website, you have to make sure you have EGS installed and it's JS, so make sure you're using Node. When you first load into the website, it takes you to the store page, and you're shown the top 5 top selling video games right here with the amount sold. If you go down, there's a search bar for if you want to search games. Let's say I search Halo. When I click search, it will show that 3 of those games exist. I can also search by genre, and I can change what the sort by is. Let's do number sold, RPG, and as you can see, the highest number is at the top, lowest number at the bottom, and it's showing the 3 RPGs. You also have the ability to add a new game. Let's name it half, genre, FPS, description, new, and price. Let's make it cheap, $5. When I click add game, I'm told it's added successfully. And when I go and search through all the games that are in the database, as you can see, it's in here, right here, with the game ID 15. Uh, when you click library in the nav bar, you're prompted for user ID. Let's say we're user 1. Um, Here, we're showing all the games we own. If you go back to store and we want to buy, let's say we want to buy the new game half. Let's buy the first user. We were told it's added successfully, which means if I go into library and press 1, show library, it is now exists in our game library. As for groups, when you click groups, it shows all the existing groups in the website. Um, right now, there's no option to add or join groups, and here are all the groups that exist. When you click users, all the users are shown to the on the website. You have the ability to add new users. Let's name it, I don't know, lazy. And you get this option to click on a date. The date doesn't really matter. Add user. We were told that it's added successfully, and it has a new user ID 11, lazy. We click friends. We can input our own personal user ID, find friends, and it will show you the users that you have added. Let's say we want to add our new um, user, lazy, right? I go back, press 1, find friends. I input 14 here, add friend. Uh, oh, it was 11, my bad. 11, find friend. You have no friends. You know what? Add our main account. Now if we do 11, find friends. Oh, there we are. Our main account has been added. All right, and that's a quick overview of my website. Uh, right here is my ER diagram. As you can see, I have 6 existing databases in this ER diagram. Video game, game genre, store, users, groups, and friend list. Uh, as you can see, a video game can have one or more game genres in theory, although that's not how it works in the implementation. But a video game or a game genre doesn't necessarily have to have a video game. For example, let's say horror, that doesn't mean necessarily there's a video game that has that tag horror. Uh, as for store, it's connected through the store library, right? And a video game can belong is either in the store or it's not, but the store can have one or many video games. Users have their game library with a video game either having existing in one user or many users, or a user having no video games or many video games. Uh, users also connect to groups and friend lists. A user can have, or a user only has one friend list. However, a friend list can have 0 added friends or many added friends, or somewhere between, obviously. Um, as for groups, a group can have many users, but although a group is made, it doesn't necessarily have to have a user. Now, on to our interesting queries. Here, this is the one used by the search bar. I think it's a little interesting because it's the order by has a little sanitized sort by, right? And it allowed me to change what I wanted the order by to be ordered by, I guess. So, for example, like it was the sold or the alphabetical. This query over here um, required multiple joins for it to work, right? And this query is the one that returns the user or the information about a user specific game for the library page. Uh, um, the playtime is stored in library, um, and the game ID, for example, was stored in the video game um, section or database. So I had to join multiple tables for it to be able to print out all the information I wanted on that library page. Over on the right is actually the query that I wrote for uh, the top 5 games, right? And the inner query assigns a rank to each row based off like the number sold, and then the outer query obviously prints out the title, the genre, number sold based off those rankings, where it only shows the 5 highest ranked video games. How I populated my website, mainly 2 ways, right? Mostly inserts that I did in the MySQL, like on the file. And each time I was playing around with the website, when I added new users in the website or added new video games, that also helped um, fill in the database. And because there's persistence in this um, uh, database, just even when I close, right, the website, it still keeps that data in the database. And so none of that information is lost. As for testing, it was pretty much adding a feature and checking. Uh, I would mess around, put different inputs in like different spots. For example, one of the things I noticed in my testing was um, there's no game ID until I press search. So if I go back to store, right, and I try to add a game without clicking search, it wouldn't like work. And I actually couldn't figure out a workaround around that. And there are several cases like that throughout the project, but yeah, it's pretty much just um, trying out the buttons, trying out the search bar. If it worked correctly, that's how I knew if it worked or not. The challenges, adding groups and adding users to it, I found a little tedious to try to implement, so I just decided not to. Another challenge is correctly populating both users' friend list. Like for example, I press friends, I click one, lazy shows up, right? Let's go back home. Let's go 2. If we go back to 1, right? Our 2 should technically be added, but it won't show up when I click go to 2. Even though it says the friendship exists, it doesn't show up when I actually like uh go to 2. Like you see, uh, B Bpop should be here, but it's not. Anyways, future plans would probably be actually getting the groups to work, fixing all those tiny little bugs, and also an ability to modify the data already exists in the database. I know I don't have that right now, but I do hope that's a goal eventually. But yeah, that is my project. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time. Woo!